Hello, so today we're going to go over another VOD review. Tomorrow tutorial will actually be out. I know I've been like saying that it's going to be out every day since like Friday. It's just that every time I have to edit it, it's like so difficult to edit. And then I just like wake up late, so I want to make my daily upload in. But it should be done for tomorrow for sure, guaranteed. And then I'll probably do like another tutorial later this week as well. So for today, we're just going to be looking at it ends up being a Sage SYLAS game. I don't particularly think Sage SYLAS is that strong, but it's kind of like, eh. Also, I'm zooming in because I tried Bard Reroll. Because I'm a 0 LP master, like because I lost I had a couple games I didn't play very well, and then I lost a lot of LP. I've basically just been experimenting a lot. And I think that's healthy to do, right? I think like when you're at like one of the break points, right? Whether it be like, gold 4, plat 4, emerald 4, diamond 4, like wherever you're at like a 4 or like 0 LP, because you can't D rank. I think a lot of people are scared that they're gonna mess up their MMR. I don't really believe in that because like my goals are more long term. It's like I'll fix the MMR, I'll play enough that it'll get unfucked, right? So I've been trying out a lot of comps, so that's why I'm kind of like sitting at 0 LP. I think I tried out everything that I wanted to, or all the new stuff that I hadn't tried before. I went 8th a bunch, but that's fine. So now I kind of have like a barometer of like what a high roll / low roll situation looks with those comps. And I'm probably gonna start like trying to aggressively climb. I'll probably stream today actually. I'll go live and I'll play some TFT if anybody's interested. I'll try and stream every day this week because I want to make sure I get a lot of games in for before it's too late. But anyways, I'm just holding on to a bunch of units. Here for me at least, I usually like taking Sage Crown. Not necessarily because it's like broken in any right, like Sage being broken. There's Baboom. Oh, I want to tell you guys, this is really, really important. I'll pause the video to make sure that I have enough time to tell you guys. And Circle, this is really important because I don't want to be like known as a bug abuser. I recently just found out that Kindred Baboom, which I talk about a lot on this channel as being like really, really broken, it actually is slightly bugged. Now, it doesn't mean that it's bad, like how do I phrase it? It still would be good if it wasn't bugged, but basically, every other cast on Kindred, because she shoots 2 shots, it counts both shots as an individual cast, so Baboom has constant uptime, and that's probably why it's been so broken on Kindred. So now that I just want to spread it because like I won't be taking Baboom when I play with Kindred anymore because I would be bug abusing, and that's like, you're not supposed to do that, right? TFT is like kind of gray a lot with like this bug abusing stuff because like you can't really get banned for it, but you could get banned for it, and like you shouldn't do it, right? If you know that there's a bug, you should not be playing around the bug, right? So I'm just letting you guys know, my bad. I didn't know it was bugged. I couldn't figure it out. I just thought it was really good. Hopefully when they fix it, it's still good, right? Theoretically, it should still be good, right? It's still good on Syndra. It's good in like that line in particular, so it should be fine. But just to let you know, in case you find out that it's bugged and then you look back on me, don't look at me negatively about that. I didn't know. My bad. Sorry. TFT is the game. Fix your game, devs. Anyways, so here, when you take Sage Crown, the main comp that you really want to play is Lilia Morgana. It definitely is the strongest Sage comp that there is. The other version of Sage you can play is you can go like Fast 9 and play like all the legendary units because you basically play around Wukong, Irelia, Rakan, and you play like Dragon Lord, Sage, Duelist, like you put in everything, right? You just play all the legendaries, right? Like it's usually like Story Weaver, Altruist, Dragon Lord, like like you put in Lee Sin, Irelia for Duelist, you put in Rakan, Galio, what's her name? Riven, and you have Altruist Bruiser, and then Rakan with Dragon Lord, and then you put Wukong for Heavenly Sage, and then you put in like Soraka for like 3 Altruist, and yeah, it's fucked. It's a really strong board, but you usually can't necessarily play towards that. I think this guy might go Baboom Kindred, which is really funny. I started seeing it more often in my games, and I think it's because there was a couple Twitter posts that were saying that it's bugged and it's really broken. And ever since then, I've noticed, like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why are people like hard forcing Kindred with Baboom? Like, that's a thing I only used to do. And I'm like, oh, did people finally figure it out? And then I started checking Twitter. I don't really check Twitter that often. I usually just look at like cute cat photos. I don't really look at like TFT stuff that often anymore. But like I started seeing like all these posts saying it's bugged. And I'm like, oh, so all the people in the lobby are fucking shitheads. Like they couldn't try it out for themselves. They had to wait till there was a fucking post saying that it's bugged. And that you should take it as broken. Anyways. Maybe they don't go Kindred. They might just go Syndra. I just remember it happening in like 2 or 3 of my games. Anyways, the reason I take Sage Crown, let's actually start talking about the game now. It's been a little bit. But I just want to get that out of the way because I noticed it. The reason I take Sage Crown early is because it gives you this Diana. This Diana as a frontline unit is very strong, right? Diana is a very strong frontline unit. It might have been better to put, I think it would have been better for me to put Adaptive Helm on the Diana, right? But the idea of taking the Sage Crown is that you get so much AP and so much like Omnivamp early that you're basically a lot stronger than many of the field, right? You're a lot stronger than a lot of opponents, and you're trying to streak for a lot of the early stage. And it also caps really high because you have like good opportunity with like a strong board later, right? But the main reason to take these is the units that it gives, right? I'm holding on to this Janna because then I can also get Dragon Lorded. But the units that it give are very quality, right? There's some augments where they don't give like, you know, there's spat augment and you might think like, oh, this spat augment will get me somewhere late game and it will be like really good and really good tempo and really strong. But the problem is like the units that it gives you also have to matter a lot, right? Like one in particular is like the one that drops like a Mumu. Like a Mumu's a really good tank early. Like a 1-star Mumu is really hard to kill. A 1-star Tom Kench if you have bruisers is hard to kill often. And a 1-star Diana with Sage is really hard to kill often early, right? So those are just things to note, right? Here I'm streaking a 2 streak. The first guy I played was very strong. I do have 2 fully upgraded units as well, so that's why I'm playing those. And I make JG, right? It's actually kind of fucked if you look at the stats. By the way, I'm not going to do the little thing. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy my content. I'm basically going to be not only doing daily uploads on TFT, I'm also going to try and do like a daily couple hour streams, at least for most of June. And then daily TFT content. There's a new guide coming out tomorrow and another one coming out later in the week. They're going to be a little bit beginner focused. So if you're like one of the higher up players or somebody who's a lot more experienced with TFT, you might not necessarily find it that interesting. Here I probably lose because this guy's a fucking Kiana too. But I think my front line's sufficient enough to deal with it. Okay, that's nice. A lot of times Kiana too, sometimes she just fucking rails you. Anyways, so I'm trying to streak early. This game kind of goes off the rails at one point. I'm really curious to see how and why. So it will be an interesting thing to look at for sure. If we look at the stats though, here's like the main issue, right? Let's say I'm playing like Lilia 2-star and I'm playing like I don't know, let's just say 5 Sage. Let's just do like the max cap, right? 5 Sage, averages like a 3.1. That's kind of what I'm going for. And let's go like craftable items. So it gave me an Adaptive Helm early. Adaptive Helm is pretty bad on Lilia, but it's a mana item nonetheless. But typically you want to make Rabadons, Shojin, then blue buff. It's kind of weird, like you have to put in like how many invokers you have because 2 invoker spear is better, 4 invoker blue buff is better, and then Jewel Gauntlet is really good on Lilia a lot of the time, right? If I go like, let's go like Lilia 2-star, right? Adaptive Helm isn't that bad. This is what I was looking at, right? Obviously you like the Sage line, the max cap Sage line's a little bit worse, right? But if you're going with Lilia items, right, and you make an Adaptive Helm, it's kind of a little bit awkward because then your items that you can make, right, it says like Hodge is really good, Blue Buff's really good, Shiv's really good, Archangels. JG is like a little bit worse. If I go like Jewel Gauntlet, I think there's like very few games, right? Yeah, it says like Morello, Blue Buff, or Rabadons, or Shiv, or something like that. All I was trying to do is that like I got this Adaptive Helm for free, and I could make a Blue Buff. I could make a Jewel Gauntlet, and Jewel Gauntlet is typically okay. So like if I want to, like if I get like a bunch more tiers, I'll make like a Blue Buff or a Shojin. Like that's my goal. And if I make either of those, I'll put on Lilia, and I'll put the Adaptive Helm on somebody else, like a frontline unit. But either way, because I had Jewel Gauntlet and I have Spark already, I decided that I'm just going to make Spark. I'm going to make Jewel Gauntlet. I'm going to try and be as strong as possible and streak as much as I can. right? That's the idea behind the item slams, right? The adaptive home I got from the Sage Crest, so it is what it is, right? If that happens to be my Lilia mana item, it's not the best Lilia mana item, but we'll just put it on her because it gives AP, it gives mana, it helps out a little bit, right? That's at least the goal. Here, I still might end up playing like a Zyra Shen line is what I'm thinking in my head, right? I have a Shen 2 for free here. This guy's staring at my board, which means he's probably contesting reroll, which I'll look at after, right? But basically, because Diana's also Exalted, I'm kind of debating if I keep Exalted in or not. I decided to just like pump a level and then just put in the Exalted with the Behemoth. And I feel like this is very strong. I didn't scout. There's obviously this guy that's very strong. Hopefully I can beat him still, so that the level is worth it, right? The reason you level here is not because like yes, it loses you some gold, right? Like now I'm only making 3 gold instead of 50 gold, right? Instead of 5 gold, like I would have been 50 gold. Now I'm only 30 gold, right? But the reason you level is because if you protect this streak, you gain +3 instead of +2, and it kind of compensates, right? And look here, I'll still make 40. So all it cost me 1 gold, but then I got the gold back from continuing my streak, basically. I actually got even more gold than if I would have lost the streak. Team Builder is like okay as a silver augment. I usually hate taking non-combat augments, but sometimes I end up taking this. This guy's just playing. This is yeah. Remember how this guy was staring at me? You know when somebody's staring at you that they're just trying to play some reroll shit. Branching out's a little bit risky. Band of Thieves is always one of the best augments. You can always look at the stats. Just relative to other silver augments, it gives you much more resources, right? Getting a full Thieves Gloves for a silver augment is really good, apparently. Like, that's how it kind of works out. Because the other silver augments, they're either really weak combat augments, really, like, you get something in X amount of turns, or they're, like, very, like, basic. But getting a full Thieves Gloves to put on your unit, it's basically like getting 2 whole items, or a whole item and a component. So it's just good. It's just nice. Now, this is something I have to look up. This Silver Mirror thing, I thought was only good on, what's his name? I thought it was only good on, blah, 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 blah. I thought it was only good on Gnar, right? But I think, like, the guy plays Riven and it works out really well. He's also, like, Living Forge, so he's gonna get a bunch of, like, Ornn items. So it's a little bit scary. But at this point in the game, right, I think this game is one of the last games. Like, this is the game, like, after I kind of learned all of the comps that I wanted to learn. So I'm kind of, like, leaning towards, like, I don't want to troll this game and needlessly play something that's not necessarily a good spot. I've played Zyra Shen before, right? I've got top 4 with it, but I go 8th a lot with it. This does not look like a good Zyra Shen spot. Also, look, this guy. Now we can laugh at him. I know it's my tech, and I kind of, like, talked about it. I talked it up forever. But now that it's, like, a known bug, right? And I think most Masters players know the bugs, right? Like, you know, it's not like, you know, they're disjoint from the game. You're spending a lot of time, if you're grinding in Master, just, like, learning the game. Like, learning all the nuances of the patch and everything. So I'm sure this guy knows it's a bug, right? If he doesn't, that's fine. But if he does, he's bug abusing and, you know, Riot. I love just pretending that I'm on this pedestal. I actually don't care. It's fine. Because I played it a lot and I didn't know. So, you know, he's probably playing it a lot and he doesn't know either. But, yeah, be careful. Try to avoid it if you can. Because you don't want to be a toxic part of the community. Duelist guy beats me. That's fine. I think I already made all the cash that I needed to make. And I'm pretty good to continue moving on, right? I'm level 6, 60 gold. I could probably be level 7 next turn. If I was continuing a streak, I would have gone for it. And I'm just trying to play towards this Lilia Sage line. Because Lilia Sage line, it's really good. It caps really high. It's very strong. It's one of the strongest comps in the game. It didn't really change that much over the patch. Just Nautilus is a little bit weaker, but it doesn't matter that much. You don't rely on Nautilus super heavy. So it's still a very viable, strong comp. We'll see. I remember things going really bad. Like considering how good my spot looks, like I'm very rich. I streak most of the stage, right? My prismatic does taper off if I don't like cap out, right? The thing is, like, this prismatic, right? I really need to hit something crazy like 5 stage. And this guy just keeps scouting me. Like, he just wants to play Zyra Shen. That's all he wants to do. And he's just like waiting for me to sell Zyras, right? Because I know I'm contested, I can tell, right? When somebody's like that and they're constantly staring at your board, they're going reroll for sure. And, you know, I can't go for this, even though this looks like maybe a good Zyra Shen spot. Here I level up, right? I'm kind of committed that I'm not going to play Zyra Shen, right? Even though I have 2 Shens and I have 3 Shens, 2 Zyras, I think it's really troll to throw away placements going for a reroll contested when you have the option of playing something else, right? I think that if I hit Lilia and Morgana, I can cap higher than the Zyra Shen board anyways, right? Because the Zyra Shen board, it's not like I have like 7 Shens, right? If I was close to it, I would definitely consider it. That's why I sell the Zyra here, right? I sell the Zyra and I sell the Nico because it's like, yeah, I'm not playing this line. I'll just make 50. Right, I'm 50 gold level 7. I can make it to level 8. And then, oh, what's this? Why is this in the game still? I'm gonna bitch about it every single time. They removed it from the game because it was a fucking problem. And then for some reason, he could just appear on a full carousel. Like, is this bugged? Is he supposed to be there? It is so fucking annoying. Because the problem with Kha'Zix is that, like, it just ruins the game. Like, I didn't level yet, obviously, right? So it's not that bad. Like, I didn't lose anything, right? If I committed to reroll, it would have been a problem, right? But I didn't. And that's fine, right? So I benefit from this, right? You might look at it and you're like, why is he complaining? Kha'Zix is even bad for him here. It's actually like a high roll. It's like, no, I just hate this encounter, right? I hate that this can grief half the lobby and like benefit half the lobby. Look at this guy. He's level up. He's level up with Kha'Zix. Like, he won the game. Like, what is this? It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, you'll see how I lose this game at the end, and I guarantee you it's because of Kha'Zix, right? If I go anything in this game that's not like in like a top 3, if I go 4th this game, which I'm pretty sure I go 4th, I can guarantee it's because of Kha'Zix, right? So even though it benefits me that I didn't waste my gold yet and I can level still, it's still not good. It's just not good. It's such a bad encounter. I think it's the one, like, out of all the encounters that exist, I think people, like, some of them like certain ones, some people hate other ones, etc. I think by far, since day one, the one that I hate the most out of it is Kha'Zix. It's the most sway. Even the Yorick one isn't as bad, right? Because the Yorick one, at least, like, you can still benefit from it. Now for the rest of the game, everybody can just level. All the rerollers, this guy, look, he's 2 off of... He's level 6, he's rolling, right? He can just level and cap out his board. I have to level and cap out this board, which is Sage, which doesn't cap as high, right? I just gotta hope that I hit my units. If I don't hit my units, I'm just in a bad spot, right? That's the way this Kha'Zix encounter works. If you hit your units, you're in a good spot because you just level and you go straight to 10. If you don't hit your units, you're in a bad spot because you're wasting your money rolling for your units, right? That's basically what happens, right? Like 100% of the time, that's what happens. Anyways, I'll stop ranting about it. I don't want people to like get upset if I'm not like actually upset. It doesn't ruin my day, right? I just like, come on, like remove this from the game already. You already removed it from the game. Why is it still here? It's just so dumb. Anyways, so this guy is playing Syndra. That's pretty okay. Syndra is really strong against Lilia if he knows to pair with Set. Which is kind of scary, but he's level 7 and he already has a Syndra, which is even more scary. I have neither Lilia nor Morgana, and I'm playing towards Lilia Morgana, but I am very, very rich, right? It would be a travesty if I don't hit, because even with the Kha'Zix encounter, I also get to level really nicely. That's another thing. The Kha'Zix encounter also makes it so that like a lot of my gold is kind of wasted, because like I'm not going level 10 with this comp. It's not Lucky Gloves for sure. Jeweled Lotus, I think, is really good with Lilia comp, just because you want to be able to do that. Here, I don't want to make the Zyra, just because I'd rather itemize, like, Lilia or Morgana. So now I'm just checking that I did everything, you know, just being scared. I also had Exalted in for a while, so I was able to level a little bit faster, but now that was kind of, like, troll, because there's no reason to. I'm swapping in the units that I want to play. I see 2 SYLASes, right? This is something that's important for later. Having SYLAS in this comp is actually a plan B, right? As you can see, I'm not really finding any Morganas or any Lilias, and I'm pretty sure I'm uncontested, right? Like, this is just the same. I'm a little bit, like, lost with my items, right? So this round I might lose because I didn't hit, right? This guy hit Baboom. I don't even know if it's good. right? This guy doesn't seem like it should be good, but I don't know what the fuck this Riven is. Like, actually. But if you watch this Riven's just gonna fucking kill my board, I think. Yeah. So, I don't know. I need to check the stats on this after, right? I won't cut the video right now, but like there's some tech here, and I don't know if this guy knows it or he stumbled upon it, but like I don't understand how Baboom is good, because I'm pretty sure Silvermere makes it so they don't cast. So like, doesn't the Riven lose the damage off of the thing? Like, am I crazy? Or is it like their attack speed is capped and they just cast a bunch? I forget. I don't know what's up with it. That's some like, you know, that's some like niche Chinese tech or something, you know? Anyways, I'm rolling. This is what I mean by Kha'Zix fucking sucks, right? I'm not stable. I have one copy of Morgana. I'm trying to fit in something here, right, to make this work out. But like, you know, 4 Sage, 3 Bruiser, right? Like, I don't want to lose the Sage because I need it. I put an Umbral here because my only carry is SYLAS. But this is what happens, right? Like, you can play like Sage. Like, there's a Sage SYLAS comp, which used to be good. It's pretty like not okay right now, but I'm just trying to be stable, right? So I'm trying to stabilize around this SYLAS too, because I didn't find a single fucking Lilia, and I found only one Morgana, and I'm uncontested, and I rolled 50 gold, right? So it was definitely a low roll game for me. This is a low roll game. I'm now bottom HP because I lost 2 fights pretty badly, right? I was somewhere in the top HP. Now I'm in the bot 3 HP, right? I was literally second HP. The game's really fucking close, and Kha'Zix appeared. So, you know, everybody who hit a board, like everybody who has like the board that's good or a strong board, is just gonna go straight to level 10. So I'm kind of stuck on level 8. Hopefully I can make it to level 9 at one point in this game. And we're trying our best to play around what we have, basically, right? Here, I know I didn't slam items. I've just been really dizzy, right? Obviously, if I was playing better, I'm just a little bit, like, you know, razzled. I should be making items for sure, right? It should be, like, at least, right? Like, I don't have anti-heal right now, which is why I was holding on to this belt. But it should have always been gargoyles, and it should always be Sterix, probably, right? Just, like, there's no way to kill the sword and kill the other item. Right, so it's Morello, Sterix. I hit a Wukong, which is maybe lucky, right? Now I'm 5 Sage. I should be a little bit more stable with this. I don't have, I have just 2 Bruiser in. And I'm playing this Riven, which I can probably play like a better Bruiser if I'm honest here. Nico isn't necessarily the best Heavenly unit to play in this board. But I put in Alawi for Arcanist and just being like a frontline unit. So I lose Bruiser in place of Alawi. And I'm just trying to make like a creative-ish board. I should be slamming items a little. I made Bloodthirster for Wukong. I think it was Sterix Gargoyles was probably a better use of my items. But I think this is fine, and I can just hold on to these 2 components. Right? I think Sterix on Wukong is really strong. And I think it would have been fine if I just did it in a different way. But now I feel like I'm pretty stable, right? 5 Sage is a really big spike. Right, I'm putting in Umbral because I think that just having the extra shield and execute on the SYLAS helps a little bit. It probably helps more than Bruiser, if I'm being honest. Bruiser helps like the whole board, obviously, but I don't know. I kind of because Umbral, because it's like my only unit that matters is the SYLAS. I think that it's okay. And we're basically just playing for 4th here, right? We're playing for 4th because we didn't hit anything. Right, as we can see, I think the level up guy is just collecting. He's like level 10 or some shit. He has Udyr 2, everything 2-star, right? You know, because Kha'Zix appeared, so GG, that guy just wins the game. I want to pause on his board, right? Oh no, this is birthday present guy. Oh, okay, so same difference. It's not the level up guy. This guy's Call to Chaos, so it's Call to Chaos. Birthday present late game strategist, right? So Kha'Zix appeared. He leveled up straight to level, I don't know what. I don't know where his avatar is. He's not on the board, so I can't tell. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's level 10. Birthday present. So he got a bunch of, got 2-star 5 costs, right? Because that's how birthday present works. Level up got a bunch of gold, and probably Call to Chaos was a bunch of gold. So this guy's just sitting on level 10. While I'm stuck on level 8 with 0 Lilias that I haven't seen a single Lilia in my shop. You know? Oh well. Right? It is what it is. I don't even think this guy's playing Lilia. Right? But I just want to show you. That's what happens sometimes with Kha'Zix, right? Oops, I skipped. I was somewhere here, right? No, somewhere here. Right after putting in Wukong. Yeah, this turn. Now Jan appears with 2 Zephyrs. Some people hate this one. I don't really mind. I'm just going to put them in my frontline units. Try and get my SYLAS to get a wrap, right? I don't really care about Zephyring a backline unit. And I might just shuffle my SYLAS a little bit. I'll hold on to this Zephyr just in case, right? Because I can put on a Loon and just like try and Zephyr their backline unit if they have one. Yeah, I just put on a frontline unit. Right? Just lift up some frontline. Hopefully my SYLAS can wrap. And yeah, my SYLAS gets a wrap. That's nice, right? So now the game's kind of over. I kind of just win this fight, I think. Oh, unless my SYLAS de-wraps. My SYLAS just ran all the way back. Oh, that was kind of scary. But yeah, this guy's level up, snipers. I don't know. I feel like maybe his combat wasn't good. Like taking Sniper Crest last, even though it's Kha'Zix's encounter. Well, I guess Kha'Zix appeared a little bit later. No, Kha'Zix appeared before this, right? So you would have known. I guess he's not 6 sniper yet. No, he is 6 sniper. I just got the wrap on him. He should be pretty strong. Maybe he just doesn't have a good front line. But anyways, I'm just trying to play for like a 4th here, right? I know this Sage SYLAS comp. It looks like it's doing pretty well right now. It's probably drop a Loon for somebody else, right? Even Irelia is probably good, right? I can also play Exalted. But I'm just kind of, I think a Loon, because my team's kind of like a one-man show. It's basically just this SYLAS, right? I'm trying my best to play around this, right? That's the only reason I have the Loon in. But Irelia probably already does more damage and is more helpful, and Bruiser at this point might help, right? Because now I have like a couple extra carries, right? I have this like Wukong as well, right? Here I just make Sterex. This is what I mean by my items would have worked out better if I made like Gargoyle and something else. And then I have a Thieves Gloves, which I can put on the Diana, right? So I just get rid of this Zyra because like Thieves Gloves in general, if you have a Thieves Gloves, I like to put on a frontline unit because damage items can help them just do damage, and frontline items don't get wasted by them being a backline unit. This is Baboom Kindred, so there's no way I win this fight because it's broken. So yeah, that's expected. Boom, I dropped down the HP again. I still haven't seen. And also, oh, this is something that I didn't know until now, right? So a lot of people have been really fucking strong. It's Radiant Blessing, right? The portal is Radiant Blessing. So the Radiant Blessing is a Fawn, right? I wasn't paying attention because like when everybody was dropping to low HP, I was like struggling. The Fawn matters a lot. It's actually really bad that I get it this late because getting this Fawn early could have stabilized me a lot earlier. I guess it's like the same difference, but it's just kind of whack. Because look, with this Fawn now, I have like Bruiser in and Irelia, and I have this for extra Sage damage. Anyways, it's all fine. I think I'm on wrong side here. I think you usually want to be opposite side of the Syndra when you're playing this comp, because I think my SYLAS is just gonna fucking die in a second. Right? Watch my SYLAS. I think he's just fucking dead. Oh, never mind. He lived long enough. He lived with like 1 HP. Is this guy Syndra 1? No, he's Syndra 2. I don't even have good combat. It might be a dual Lotus diff, maybe. Because I thought for sure that Syndra was just going to wipe the SYLAS. But the SYLAS lived just long enough, right? Healed just enough. I feel like that was a little bit lucky. Typically, you want to be on opposite side, I think. Right? Now it's Kha'Zix. I'm just going to level 9. I'm playing for a top 4. I'm not greeding, right? I don't really care about rolling on 9 for anything. I'm Wukong paired. I should roll here to find... what's it called? I should roll here to at least find like a Wukong 2. I dropped the I put in this guy for Dragon Lord as well as just being Rakan. So now I'm 3 Altruist, which helps out my front line a lot. And then I think I lose to this Riven guy again. Right? I think this Riven is just so fucking strong. Blue buff Riven Silver asks. I feel like it's some tech. I don't know. I want to look it up after this game, because I can't really speak to it. But yeah, look at this shit. She's just killing everything. What is this? I didn't know about it, but yeah, you know what? It worked out, I guess. But yeah, I'm still stuck on this SYLAS, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen a single Lilia this whole game, right? Am I fucking crazy for that? Anyways, I take Rakan for Rakan, right? It might have been better to take an item here, But Bruiser Emblem isn't that bad because maybe I can fit in 6 Bruiser anyways. This guy's one off Azir. He's just been rolling on level 10 for 5 cost the whole game because Kha'Zix appeared. So, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully I can hit Wukong too. That's all I want to kind of hit. Morgana is nice to have in as an upgrade. I'd probably lose Umbral for Lee Sin and 3 Dragon Lord, right? Just get some extra attack speed. Bruiser on Rakan is really strong. I'm down to lose Lee Sin for another Bruiser though. I think 4 Bruiser is probably more important than the extra Dragon Lord damage. The Duelist does help with the Irelia, but I think it's better just to put it. Here I'm deciding if I backline my SYLAS, but I decide just now. I'll just keep him frontline. Wukong 2 is pretty strong here. I'm fighting Baboom Kindred, so I don't expect to win this fight, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is, right? Baboom Kindred is just so fucking strong, and the SYLAS comp is barely even like a playable comp. And then they also have like a Dryad +1, right? Because they got Fawn off Carousel, I believe. Oh, I won. Never mind. Wow, I'm actually really strong. That's crazy that I beat this guy. I never would have thought I beat this guy. That's actually crazy. This guy's one off Azir 3, by the way. I don't understand this Riven. I don't know if it's some kind of tech. But be aware of it, right? The Silver Axe blue buff Riven with Baboom. I don't know if those stars align for you, but if they do, just be ready for it. But yeah, I'm 3 Bruiser here. I think it's definitely play a Bruiser over even this Aatrox, right? Just play a Bruiser with Ghostly. Like, it's probably Aatrox over Lee Sin right now. Oh, I guess Galio over somebody. Galio over Zyra. Ooh, I think it's lose Lee Sin. Oh, I think that's a misplay. I think it's definitely lose Lee Sin. Ooh, I think that's rough. I think that's bad. Yeah. I think the 5 Sage is more important than the Lee Sin. That's a big mistake. I'm holding on to the Zyra, but I think it's you replace Lee Sin here, right? Like the extra Dragon Lord I don't think matters that much because I have Sage in, so I have compensation with like Omnivamp for the attack speed. It's not 4 Dragon Lord, so there's no stun, right? It's just like the difference between 2 and 3 Dragon Lord, which is just a little bit of AS. And I think that it's probably much better just to have like more AP and more Omnivamp, right? For sure, right? I don't know. I think it's lose Lee Sin and just play the Zyra. I know it looks bad, and this probably is like an Aatrox. Anyways, this guy hit his year 3, so the game's over. But yeah, how does this guy hit his year 3 just randomly? Oh yeah, it's just like, you know, just takes all the greedy augments to go fast 9. Kha'Zix appears, goes fast 10. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fuck that. Like that encounter is just such a fucking grief. But it's okay. Rabadon's here. The game's over. I can only play 1 person because I didn't play this guy the whole game, right? I didn't play the guy the whole last stage. Hits a 0-3 and now I'm playing him. So guess what? We get to watch a 0-3 wreck my team. Let's watch that, you know? I was very strong too. I'm pretty sure I can beat this guy. And this guy doesn't seem that strong. That guy, I beat this Riven guy already, right? I beat him last time I played him. But anyways, yeah, watch this. Ready? Yeah, and I'm dead. So I just got a 4th here. That's fine, right? I had a really low roll game, right? But this is like a good note. Like obviously if Kha'Zix didn't appear, you know, making a board around this, right? My whole game plan, right? I was taking Lillia items, right? This is something I try and mention to people when you're talking about like flex and holding on to 4-cost units, right? I'm not necessarily the best at this, right? Like, you know, my friend that's in Challenger looks at my boards a lot of times. He's like, you could have played this unit instead and you would have been so much stronger. I'm like, oh shit, really? Right? Like, I'm not all knowing or all knowledgeable. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just like, what I'm trying to say is like, when you're doing your initial roll downs and stuff like that, try and think of other units that can hold the items, right? I'm playing a Sage comp, right? Even though the Sage SYLAS comp isn't that good, it's okay when you have like a bunch of Sages in, right? It's okay if you could reach like a capped board, but at the very least, it's a lot more stable than having nothing, right? You might look at this comp and you might think, oh, I don't have a Lilia, and then you're like selling the SYLAS and you're looking for a Lilia and you're holding Nautilus and you're like rolling for a Lilia and you're like, the game's so fucking bad, and you're slamming your desk and you don't have a Lilia. Or you can just like buy the SYLASes, right? Buy 4-cost units, buy units that might fit into a board, right? Even if it's not like the optimal board, right? If you low rolled, you low rolled, right? Sometimes the day is fucked, right? Sometimes the game is bad. Sometimes things don't work out for you, right? And that's okay. Because look, I didn't lose LP here. I know I'm at 0 LP. Don't make a joke about it. But like, you know, this is a 4th that otherwise probably would have been an 8th, right? If I spent the whole game looking for Lilia, I would have lost like 3 or 4 more fights. I would have definitely gone bot 4, right? But the thing is, just stabilize around the units, right? Obviously I had a Wukong. That was like a little bit high roll, but you know, you gotta hit something, right? And just like, that's what I mean. So when you're looking at these lines, right, like even if you're playing like Ashe, if you're playing Kaisa, if you're playing like I played an Ashe game and I itemized Aphelios because I couldn't find Ashe, right? Like, try and find like options to save LP even when it is a bad game, right? That'll be part of like the guide that I'll release tomorrow, that I'll talk about this a little bit more. But like, that's the idea, right? Not every game is gonna work out like how you put it in your team planner, right? But the idea is that you have to try and find a way to do a little bit better, right? And try and win out a little bit, right? And that's all to say. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was enjoyable. Tomorrow I will have a guide out. I'm working on it today. It's just the editing takes a while because I recorded this morning, and then like, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be like out in time. So I'd rather put up this video, make sure I keep my daily streak, and then I'll put out the guide tomorrow. And I'll try and do a guide like every other day this week, because I have 2 more that I'm trying to work on all at the same time. That's why it's been taking really long, because I'm trying not to like say the same thing in every video. And those will be like back when everybody kind of liked the content more, you know, because I think it's like a happy medium of showing like example VODs where I go through them, and then also giving you like, hey, this is like a general guide. Thank you for watching. See you guys later.